Yes, subscribe. You always dey watch we program them, but you not subscribe yet to the channel. All wetin you get for do, press this red subscribe button and then you come over here and press this bell. To the bell option, press this one with all. E don done. E no get for cost you anything. When you do this, na sign for show say you dey support we for make we do more. Thank you for we don help we for share this program. Yeah! God bless you.
Thank you to the people of Sierra Leone. You gave me the greatest honor a country can bestow upon a citizen, to serve as your president for 2 terms. There were many other Sierra Leoneans who could have served this mantle, but by God's grace, you chose me twice above all others, and I humbly accepted the charge to move forward with the hopes of all Sierra Leoneans. For 10 years, I have served our beloved nation to the best of my ability, and today I have come to say goodbye to this honorable house. Yes, I promise that at the end of my tenure, I will honorably step aside, and this is why today I have come to fulfill another constitutional requirement towards my final departure. I have had the support of the people in government and outside government. For 10 years, this parliament has also been my supreme friend, performing its traditional roles in representation, in oversight, and in legislation. Your steadfast support, your constructive criticisms, and even the not too constructive ones gave me the impetus to continue to tackle the great development challenges that besiege our nation. And for this, I am grateful. I am grateful to our security forces for their tireless efforts in keeping us all safe and secured, and who, through their discipline and professionalism as international peacekeepers, have helped in no small measure in rebranding our great country. Together, we have earned the accolade of a model of democracy, of peace building, and of peace consolidation, owing in large part to their gallantry. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I am grateful to our health workers, teachers, and lecturers, pupils and university students, to our judiciary, and to the rest of our civil and public servants, market women, who throughout my tenure have remained committed to the peace and development of our nation. With your dedicated service, we have been able to bend the arch of history to restore the dignity of our beloved nation. And to the ordinary citizen who has toiled throughout these years to complement the efforts of my government in nation building, our national success would not have been so remarkable without your resolve. You are the true heroes of our transformation, and to you I am grateful. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I am also here to give the final account of my 10 years of stewardship of this country. It has been 10 years of cooperation, of compromises, of negotiations, of disagreements, and of service. It was not always easy. Sometimes the disagreements were so strong that some of our friends staged walkouts. Though the walkouts were short-lived, but that is all part of our democracy. But there were times also when they even voted along with us. And throughout this great period, we have remained a peaceful nation, ultimately moving on for the common interests of our people. As you are all aware, the party that nominated me to this great honor and responsibility, the party that first believed in my capacity to deliver victory and move this nation forward, the All People's Congress, is a movement founded on expanding access for the common man and woman. It is our conviction that the state should not be a monopoly of the few. That is why in the last 10 years, my programs have been guided by a commitment to integrating the needs of the ordinary citizen. That is why, guided by our introduction of free healthcare initiative, our payments to all public exams fees in primary and secondary schools, our increase in electricity generation and distribution, our establishment of legal aid, our inclusion of youths and women in the highest decision-making bodies of the state, and our transfer of resources to agriculture. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, today I am here to report that our construction of roads everywhere has been to get the ordinary man and woman move faster and safer all over the nation. Yes, there has been challenges, many challenges, but our raft of policies enabled us to weather the worst of the storms, and we registered higher GDP, investments, and job growths never seen before in this country. Just when we were taking off with this spectacular growth, a dreaded disease unknown to us, unknown to our brothers and sisters in the Mano River Union, attacked us. But we fought back, and in the midst of collapsing commodity prices all over the world, and with support from our friends, we defeated the virus and inaugurated a recovery program that has put us back on track. The economy. Since 2007, my government directed our economic growth by embracing infrastructural development, including reviving the energy sector and improving the business climate to attract foreign investment. In 2007, the monetary value of Sierra Leone's economic and business activities was 5 trillion leones, or about $1.7 billion. By 2013, my government had increased it to 22 trillion leones, or $5.1 billion. Ebola decreased our economic output, but our resilience ensured that by 2017, the economic activities of the country are estimated at 30 trillion leones, or $4.1 billion. Thus, the percentage increase in leones since 2007 is 500%, and in dollars, 141%. The contribution per person to economic and business activities in 2007 was 720,000 leones, or $240 in 2007. By 2013, just before Ebola, we ensured that it increased to 4 million leones, or $840. And in 2017, it is 4.4 million leones, or $600. The increase here from 2007 to 2017 is 511% in leones and 150% in dollars. In 2007, the monetary value of Sierra Leone's export was 870 million leones, or $170 million. Today, it is 6 trillion leones, or $790 million. A percentage increase of 590% in leones and 172% in dollars. In 2007, revenue generated within Sierra Leone was 502 billion leones, or $170 million. By 2013, my government has increased it to 3 trillion, or $700 million. Though we were hit by low economic output during Ebola, we were still able to keep it far above what it was in 2007. Today it is 4 trillion leones, or $550 million. This is an increase of 700% in leone terms since 2007 and 224% increase in dollar terms. and the government and my government's direct development expenditure on roads, energy, health, education, ICT, and other areas has been way above what it was in 2007. In 2007, it was 180 billion leones, or $60 million. By 2013, we had increased it to 1.3 trillion leones, or $280 million. Today, it is 2 trillion leones, or $274 million. This is a tenfold increase in leones since 2007 and a 300% increase. We have also ensured tremendous growth in foreign direct investments, from $288 billion, or $96.6 million in 2007, to $1.2 billion in 2011, $650 million in 2012, 2 trillion leones, or $362 million in 2013, and 5 trillion leones, or $570 million in 2017. This represents over 16 times increase in leones from what obtained in 2007, and over fourfold in dollar terms. My government has also increased our overall international reserves from 597 billion leones, or $200 million in 2007, to 2.5 trillion, or $514 million in 2013. Today, our international reserves are at 4 trillion leones, or $500 million. This is over 5.5 times in leone terms what we met in 2007, and 150% more in dollar terms. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, Sierra Leone's economy has shown remarkable growth and resilience over the past decade. From major external shocks, including global financial crisis of 2008-9, the food and fuel price crisis during the same period, the collapse of international commodity prices, including our major export iron ore, and the outbreak of the Ebola epidemic, we bounced back, growing to 6.3% in 2016. This is because my government implemented transformative economic policies, including the successful implementation of programs of the IMF and the World Bank and other international organizations, which secured more support to my administration than was the case in the last year of the previous administration. As you can see, from health to education, electricity, water, roads, agriculture, and to the ICTs, my government has been able to invest in our people more than at any time in this country's history. We still have challenges, but Human Development Index and most other indices are far above what we met in 2007. At the time when rice was at 60,000 leones in 2007, the minimum wage bill was 20,000 leones. Far below what was required to buy a bag of rice. Today, when the bag of rice is a little over 200,000 leones, the minimum wage bill is 500,000. Is 500,000 euros. More than twice the price of a bag of rice. The Global Hunger Index. The Global Hunger Index was far worse in Sierra Leone at 44.5% around the time I took over power. By 2013, my government has reduced it to 22.8%. Whilst Ebola had negative consequences for our fight against hunger, the index today is at 38.5, is better than the index during the commencement of my governance. We still face challenges, but today, unlike the situation when we took over governance, we are no longer at the bottom of the Human Development Index. We have moved several points from the 2007 rankings. We still have challenges, but our commitments and actions for progress, like in the motto of our APC, Action, Progress. We have ensured that we landed a fiber optic cable and rolled it out over 65% of the country, bringing connectivity to our homes, offices, schools, and universities, and ensuring that our media and civil society are freer and more viable with a wider reach than 10 years ago. We promised and we delivered. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, since 2007, my government has led a major transformation in the governance of the mineral sector. We passed the World-Class Mines and Minerals Act of 2009 to tighten the rules of administrators and mineral rights holders. We have included a more clearly defined and stricter application process, established a new licensing regime to better enable investment and mineral sector development. We are rebalancing fiscal benefits, and we are promoting transparency by addressing reporting, disclosure, and dissemination of information related to the revenues and payments. For the first time in 70 years of our mining in Sierra Leone, there is now a comprehensive set of rules and requirements for worker safety, environmental and community protection. We have established the National Minerals Agency for the implementation of the Mines and Minerals Act and related regulations. We have also established and operationalized a world-class mining cadastry office throughout the country to process, record, and monitor applications, license, and revenue. And in a significant step towards full transparency, Sierra Leone has launched the Government of Sierra Leone online repository for share license and revenue information online. Revenues from all fees and taxes are transparently calculated, collected, and reported. Through the NMA, we have been able to improve geological knowledge and data management and streamline the licensing process and procedure to ensure predictability and efficient licensing system. We have also ensured that mining contributions to development of local communities. 3 companies have already signed agreements with their respective communities. This will ensure that some of the proceeds from the mining companies are channeled back to the communities to promote sustainable development. Social services, health and sanitation. Through the most daring public policy in our country's history, we have increased our people's access to health services. Between Between April 2010 and March 2011, the Free Healthcare Initiative led to nearly 2 million additional under 5 consultations. Over 39,000 more women delivered their babies in health facilities, and 12,000 maternity complications were managed in health facilities, with a 60% drop in the fatality rate in these areas. Between 2010 and April 2011, at the Princess Christian Maternity Hospital, the number of admissions increased from 800 to 12,000, and this trend is continuing. The APC government has also introduced free treatment of malaria for all groups in the public health facilities. As we have had over 100% increase in the availability, accessibility, and affordability of safe and effective drugs within the first 5 years of the Free Healthcare Initiative. And we have constructed new central medical stores warehouse and 13 medical stores. A total of 1,190 health facilities became functional in 2012, compared to the 843 in 2006. We have built maternity wards in Kabbalah, Kono, Bo, and Kenema government hospitals to facilitate and supervise delivery by skilled personnel. The 5 BMOC centers each in all the 13 districts were established across the country, and 1 regional referral hospital was constructed in Bombali. At the same time, the district hospitals in Moyamba, Kabbalah, and Kono were rehabilitated. 11 district hospitals have either been completed or nearing completion, and we have established a school for training of midwives. Since 2010, we intensified routine and supplementary immunization, defaulter tracing of TB and HIV/AIDS patients. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, although the EBD outbreak reversed our gains in service utilization, we are bouncing back, becoming more resilient. We are bouncing back, becoming more resilient, and able to restore public confidence and services to the health sector. Over 2,500 EBD survivors have benefited from the Free Healthcare Initiative. To further reduce maternal mortality, we implemented the national strategy for the reduction of teenage pregnancy. We have also introduced the maternal death surveillance and response strategy to enable the sector to generate data on maternal deaths and to take remedial actions. This means we are building our capacity to report on national health events. We have launched an extensive program of health facility rehabilitation and construction. The 9 tertiary hospitals are being upgraded as national medical centers of excellence, and over 57 health facilities are either being constructed or rehabilitated. A total of 500 bed capacity hospitals are being built across Freetown, Giamar Road, Rukupa, and in Waterloo. We have embarked on community health workers' approach to improve access to the underserved communities. Over 15,000 community health workers community health workers have been trained and deployed to provide essential health services. Mr. Speaker, we have brought in a multidisciplinary clinical force of foreign medical team of 43 medical doctors, 4 radiographers, and laboratory scientists to temporarily plug the human resource gap in this sector. My government has also established the School of Clinical Sciences to train our health workers to become physician assistants able to complement our doctors through task shifting. And a postgraduate medical training has been introduced to provide in-country specialist training to our locally trained medical doctors in various fields. Teaching hospitals have therefore been established to facilitate the postgraduate training. Sierra Leone's first ever National Emergency Medical Services Project, which seeks to provide ambulance services to every chiefdom, is on course and will commence soon. We promise to improve and enhance the medical service provision, and we delivered. Access to education. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the government has made substantial investments in education. We increased budgetary allocation to education sector from a 3.7% in 2007 to over 15% in 2017. We provided teaching and learning materials for all non-private schools and students during the immediate post-Ebola period and at a cost of 26 billion to the government. In the immediate post-Ebola period, we paid school fees for all non-private schools students at a cost of 67 billion to the government. These efforts paid off. These efforts paid off with annual increases in enrollment and the number of students completing all levels of schooling from 130,000 in 2005 to 200,000 in 2016. In the preschool, from 9,000 females in 2005 to over 42,000 in 2016. And from 10,000 males in 2005 to over 38,000 in 2016. The primary school enrollment increased from 650,000 males in 2005 to over 700,000 in 2016. And from just over 500,000 females in 2005 to over 700,000 in 2016. Junior school enrollment more than doubled from a little over 93,000 males in 2005 to over 161,000 in 2016. And from about 61,000 females in 2014, the number tripled in 2016. In the senior school, enrollment almost quadrupled from a little over 26,000 males in 2005 to over 91,000 in 2016. And from just over 12,000 females enrollment, it increased to almost 7 times to over 79,000 in 2016. To cater for this phenomenal increase, the government had to plug the wastages we inherited through the existence of teacher payroll cleaning exercise, from which we have been able to save 432 billion at 57.8 billion. From the elimination of those teachers we inherited. Further action has also been taken to update the payroll database with the employees' NASIX numbers. This is part of our efforts to ensure the existence of all government employees. Our payroll strategy has been prepared to guide future work on ensuring the sustainability of the government wage bill. From the revenues saved and from external support, we have been able to increase the number of approved schools. In particular, an increase of 382 in the 12 months of July 2016 to 2017. In 2017 alone, we have been able to pay fees for all school-level public exams, totaling 16.7 billion from primary through secondary school. We did not promise free education, but it was we have been able to take action to construct an additional 225 classrooms in 2017, constructed an additional 165 wells and 362 wash facilities in schools in the period of 2016 to July 2017. We have revitalized, extended, and improved the school feeding program to cover over 800,000 primary school feedings. And to ensure quality, we have developed the teaching syllabus for basic education, strengthened school inspection through the recruitment of school support officers, developed lessons plans for mathematics and English language, and established a situation room for education to track progress and feedback. By the construction of the first ever Ministry of Education TV and radio broadcasting building, we have also taken action to engage our children at home through the nationwide Ministry of Education radio broadcasts. Over and above these efforts, and to provide alternative university opportunities, the government has initiated the first ever public-private partnership in higher education through the commencement of operation of the Lincoln Wing University. Bringing to 5 the number of universities in Sierra Leone, and very soon we will have the additional 6th university for the Eastern region. Access to clean and safe drinking water. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, in the past 10 years, my government has been preoccupied with the task of improving the dismal national coverage of clean and safe drinking water. We have therefore implemented several initiatives in the sector. The 3 towns water project in Bo, Kenema, and Makeni, which is now operational, targets a total population coverage of over 500,000 people. In Maguraka, Mile 91, Lunge, Kailam, Lunsar, Gambia, Bujong, about another 500,000 of Sierra Leoneans are being provided with pipe-borne water for the first time in over 3 decades. And our projects in Bond and Weyamba, targeting another 33,000 of our comprises have been constructed. In our rural water supply and sanitation projects, about 630,000 are being reached through the construction of 85 boreholes with solar-powered pumps and hand pumps in Bond, Konom, Gambia, Kwenedugu, and Tujong districts. These are in addition to 40 boreholes with hand pumps in the same districts, bringing our rural water coverage from a mere 26% in 2007 to over 50% as of now. In our urban projects, the construction of
Yes, subscribe. You always dey watch we program dem, but you no subscribe yet to we channel. All wetin you get for do, press this red subscribe button and then you come over here to and press this bell. To the bell option, press this one with all. E don done. E no get for cost you anything. When you do this, na sign for show say you dey support we for make we do more. Thank you for your help we for share this program. Yeah, God bless you.